Okay, so round 2. Listen, I know. That first part, like, whoa, I know. I needed to share it. I don't know why. I just need people to appreciate that game, because it's good. And yes, I am one of those weirdos that has crushes on fictional characters. Anyways, welcome to the Zelda tier ranking list. I haven't played all of these games, but we're gonna have S be like, yes, awesome, super awesome. D, can I change it? Oh, I can, awesome. Never played, okay? Okay, so this one is... What is that? A Link Between Worlds? A Link Between Worlds, top tier. Love that one. Link to the Past, awesome. Love it. Four Swords, never played it. Gonna be honest. Other Four Swords, never played it. What is that? Is that Link's Awakening? Link's Awakening is also good, I think. Wait. Is that Link's Awakening? Also, I'm just playing music off of YouTube. Yeah, Link's Awakening. Ooh. I do really like Link's Awakening. Link's Awakening is one of my favorites. Majora's Mask is going up there, and this one's going up there too. This is Ocarina of Time. Oracle of Ages and Oracle of Seasons, I think, are really, really great. But, like, they're not S tier for me. Phantom Hourglass is like a C for me. I played it and I thought it was kind of cute, but, like, it didn't give me the Zelda vibes. That's the only thing I can think to say about it, is that it didn't give me, like, classic Zelda vibe. Even though it is a classic Zelda game, it felt like it was missing something. And I feel like it was mostly just because it was a smaller Zelda game, that, like, it wasn't as in-depth as some of the other ones, but I really, really enjoyed it. Skyward Sword, okay. Skyward Sword is going down here. Actually, this one will go up there. Because I forgot that this is the never played one and not the I hate it one. This is the I hate it one. That being said, I think that, like, the plot of Skyward Sword is great. I've been listening to the soundtrack, and I think the soundtrack is great. I don't like the art style. I don't like the character designs. I fucking hate the gameplay. Like, Skyward Sword is such a rage-quitty Zelda game for me. Cause, like, and I know what you might be saying, like, just play it on the Switch, play it without the motion controls on the Switch, to which I say, I fucking can't. Because when I've played it on, like, I've played it on my Wii, I had a physical copy of it, and I gave it away, because I was like, you're not even worth trying to sell, I'm just giving you away, get out of my life. And then I did buy a digital copy of it on my Switch, okay? Because I heard that you were not forced to use motion controls, and I was like, that's amazing. I love that they implemented an actual button mapping system so that you don't have to use motion controls. But the button mapping system that they have on there is, like, so weird and non-intuitive that I'm like, this is somehow worse than motion controls. At least the motion controls make sense, they just fucking suck. But, like, the way that the buttons are mapped on the controller version rather than, like, the motion control version, it's so frustrating. And so for me, I kept, like, messing things up because I was like, I simply do not, like, it does not compute in my brain the way that this thing wants me to do. Like, it would be like, yeah, this is not, I'm not saying this is what it was, but it was like this, okay? It'd be like, yeah, so you swing your sword with L1. And I'm like, what? What do you mean you swing your sword with L1? That has never been a thing in a Zelda game. You always swing your sword with, like, A or B. You know what I mean? And it'll be like, oh, do you want to do you want to dump? Fucking Jesus Christ, do you want to jump? Do you want to jump? Press X. And I'm like, what the fuck? What do you mean? And it's like, oh yeah, do you want to like shoot something? Cool. So you press R1 to aim and R2 to shoot. And I'm like, that's so fucking weird because it's usually like you aim with one of the L's and then you shoot with one of the R's. Something like that. It's like, it's so weird. It's the weirdest control scheme. So for me, I was like, I simply cannot get behind how this thing controls in either way, because whoever mapped the buttons in the non-motion control version, like, what the heck were you doing, dude? What? Do you know what I mean? So anyways, because there are more things leaning towards bad for me for Skyward Sword, I just said, you know what, fuck it. I'm not just like, no, no, thank you for that one. I do have the Zelda books, the Zelda Bibles, right? And like, I've read up on the story and I've seen other people play the game. And again, I can't get behind the character designs. I don't really like them. I don't like the art style of them. Music is amazing. Gameplay sucks. Art style, meh. Story, amazing. Everything else about it, you know what I mean? Like, Anyways, I don't like Skyward Sword. I really don't. What is it? Spirit Tracks? I haven't played it. I own this, but I haven't played it yet. I want to play it on the channel for the first time. But, I have it, but I have not played it yet. Adventures of Link. Down here. I'm so sorry. It's really fucking hard. OG Zelda? I know, crazy, but I'm gonna put it in B. For me personally, like, my very first game was A Link to the Past. And I've played all of the ones after that, but like, except for obviously the ones that I've never played. But like, I've tried to play the original Legends of Zelda, and like, it's fine. I like the OG music. Like, I really appreciate what it is, and I appreciate what it grew to be and like what it started as and stuff. Like, I have a really good appreciation for the original game. I just, when it comes to Zelda games, it's not one that I find myself returning to over and over and over again. I usually avoid playing that one. Also, it's really hard, so for me, because I'm not very good at games. So for me, it's not top tier, but it's definitely not bottom either. Like, if there was a more central one, I would put it there. It's definitely above Phantom Hourglass for me, though. Like, I'd rather play this one again than Phantom Hourglass. Wind Waker, up here, obviously. Triforce Heroes, never played it. Ooh, this one might be a little controversial, but Twilight Princess, come on, is there. Oh, this doesn't even have all of them. Okay. I'm not sure what this one is, but I have not played it. Most of the ones that have Wind Waker style art in it, I haven't played. Especially if it involves like the Four Swords, I haven't played it. But the whole Wind Waker style, oh wait, that's Minish Cap. Minish Cap, up here. I just saw the hat, that's why. Most of the Wind Waker style, art style ones, I haven't really played though. Oh god. This one I'm iffy on. Okay, so Breath of the Wild is a C. I'm going to add 2 other games in here because there have been 2 more since Breath of the Wild, right? Breath of the Wild was boring. And like, when I heard they were going to make an open world Zelda, I was like, well, it depends on how well they make it, because like the very first Zelda technically is open world. But it was as expansive as it could be for the time that it was made, right? But like, the way that it was envisioned was that it was open world. You can go basically wherever, and it's an open world. You're not necessarily on a track, you know, even though it is guided a little bit, I think, but like, you're not necessarily on a track. You're not like shoved to go certain directions. You can actually go out and you can explore and you can do whatever the fuck you want. And so, like, that's what the first Zelda was supposed to be. So when I heard that they were going to do that with a new Zelda, I was like, oh, that'll be interesting to be able to actually translate Zelda 1 into, like, a newer open world Zelda game. That sounds awesome. But they have to do it right, because I don't personally like open world Zelda games. And it's not even open world Zelda games, it's just open world games in general I'm not the biggest fan of, because they all do the same thing. Same thing with, like, farming sims. I like farming sims, but, like, it's not like I have to go out and play every single one of them, because they all do the exact same thing in almost the exact same way. And most of the time they're just copying each other, and there's nothing that's really, like, new or fresh about it. So for me, I get bored with it really easily, unless there's something very unique about it, like its art style, or it has amazing music, or the combat system is really unique in some way, or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, otherwise it's the same thing over and over again, and, like, that can kind of get old, you know? So for me personally, I don't find a lot of joy in open world games. I also find them to be too expansive. There's too much to do, and to me that mirrors real life too much. And my brain, which I have an ADHD brain, it's already too full and I already get really distracted. So having a game that, like, has a path and keeps me on that path, I don't like when it's super guided. I don't like when you're on tracks and you can't stray from those tracks. I don't like that at all. I like when you have a very open path and you can, like, branch out and go explore things, but eventually you'll come back to the path. I like that kind of open world, but I don't like where everything is completely open. You can do whatever the heck you want in whatever order you want, or you don't have to do anything at all. You can just run around, scream your head off. Like, I don't like when I have too many options. I like when I'm like, okay, cool, this is my actual goal, but occasionally there will be little side things that you can do, and those side things actually help you. You know, like, you need them. Well, maybe you don't need them. Like, you could probably survive without them in the game, but it's better if you have those things, because they actually help you to play the game better. Therefore, it has a reason to go out of my way to do those things. I like when they're fun, like the trading sequences. I love trading sequences in Zelda games. To get, like, the big Goron sword and stuff, I think that is, like, really awesome, and I love it. I love trading sequences like that, where it's like a tiny little challenge, but it takes like 10 minutes maybe out of the entire gameplay to do the trading sequences. My favorite one, obviously, I think, is the one that's in Link's Awakening, where you're just trading with everyone all the way down. And, like, you can do it gradually throughout the game, or you can just wait till, like, the last little minute and then, like, do all of them all at once. I don't know, it's really, I find them very, very interesting and nice. I really like trading sequences in Zelda games. But, like, Breath of the Wild felt flat. It felt empty, even though it was expansive and it was so full of things. It also felt like it wasn't full of anything. Do you know what I mean? Like, it felt like there was a lot of stuff but no substance to that stuff. That's how it felt to me personally, compared to games like fucking Minish Cap or Wind Waker or any of these ones up here, or even these ones, where it's like there's little things that you can do on the side. And, like, even talking to the characters, they teach you a little bit about the world. Everyone's got, like, a really unique personality, and they're all memorable, right? Everyone is memorable. Whereas in Breath of the Wild, it was like there were too many people. A lot of them started mixing together. There were too many stories that were kind of the same. Like, everyone just kind of bled together. Every place, for the most part, kind of bled together. And, like, maybe it's just a me thing. I don't know. But Breath of the Wild for me was a miss. I was like, boy, I hope they don't make another game like that. But everyone was praising it, so I was like, they're probably going to. Like, this seems like it's going to be the direction, and if it is, I feel bummed, because of course I'm still going to play the Zelda games, but if they're all going to be open world like this, I know that I'm not going to enjoy Zelda games as much as I used to. Anyways, and then they came out with Tears of the Kingdom. Okay, Tears of the Kingdom, I actually really love. Tears of the Kingdom would go into A, probably. It's not perfect. It's way better than Breath of the Wild, in my opinion. Like, Breath of the Wild felt, in comparison to Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild felt like a tester demo. Do you know what I mean? Like, it felt like an unfinished game. It felt like these are concepts that we have, and they're really cool concepts, and we put out this ginormous 100-hour-long game demo for Tears of the Kingdom, and we called it Breath of the Wild. And it has plot in there that is important, I guess. But, like, Tears of the Kingdom, like, took what Breath of the Wild was and then just expanded upon it in a lot of really good ways. And again, it is not perfect. Like, I wish there was more to the sky and the depths. I liked that there was the sky islands and the depths that you could visit. I liked that everything was sandwiched together like that. So there was an upwards and a downwards to explore, as well as an outwards, right? But like, same thing. Like, the sky islands and also the depths felt very flat, like how Breath of the Wild did. It seemed like they're like, when they first kind of showed it off, it was like, oh my god, there's probably going to be so many cool things down there. But it was kind of just more of the same, just in a different location. And to me, that made them kind of boring. I wish that there was like civilizations down there that you could find, or something like that. I didn't really like, for both Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, I don't like that they didn't really have dungeons. Like, I know they tried to bring back dungeons in Tears of the Kingdom, but for me, I was like, these still don't feel like a classic Zelda dungeon, and I want them to. I want this to feel like a classic Zelda dungeon, and it doesn't. It just feels like more of the same from the first Breath of the Wild, and they called it something else. Like, they were like, we're just going to take the blueprint for the fucking creature robo dudes. What are they called? The Guardians? Why am I blanking on what they're called? Oh my god, I need to look this up. The Divine Beasts. That's what they're called. So, like, it was more of the same concerning that. There were just, like, divine beasts, shrines, and, like, you could explore Hyrule Castle, but you also couldn't, you know? Kind of same thing, but, like, either way, it was like, I wish that Hyrule Castle was a dungeon in itself, because half the time it is. In a lot of the games where Hyrule Castle is present, it is like a little dungeon in itself right before the end. But like, the Divine Beasts did not feel like dungeons, and then it felt like they just took what they did with the Divine Beasts and then they put them in physical locations instead of mobile ones. Just like stationary locations in the world for Tears of the Kingdom, and then they were like, we're gonna change the name to Dungeons, and everyone will lose their shit and be like, finally, they brought back Dungeons. But when I played through it, I was like, like, it doesn't, these don't feel like Zelda dungeons, though. Like, it's still too open world for it to count as a dungeon, in my opinion. Like, it's not like we're in a space and this is like the sacred space that is a dungeon. Like, someone built this space specifically to test the hero, and potentially it got corrupted, and then we have to fix it. Like, they don't feel like that. There's not, like, even though they were like, here's a key, use a key. It's like, oh, a key. But, like, there weren't, like, keys and puzzles in the same sense that there are in older Zelda games. And so for me, I was like, okay, Tears of the Kingdom is better than Breath of the Wild, and it took a step closer to, like, combining the things that people really love about classic Zelda formula and combining the new Zelda formula that newer people or even older people, some like, fans of Zelda are, it's very, I don't know what the word is right now, I'm blanking on it. My brain is saying binary. But it's very much like either you're one or the other for the most part when it comes to like Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. Either you love it or you hate it. And it's like, I don't love or hate either of them, but I don't enjoy Breath of the Wild. Like, I've played it 1 and like a quarter times because I couldn't get through it a second time because I was just bored out of my fucking mind and it puts me to sleep. And I've never had a Zelda game besides Skyward Sword, where I was also bored out of my mind and it was putting me to sleep, as well as frustrating me. But, like, besides those two games, I've never had a Zelda game put me to sleep. Like, they're usually pretty exciting. But with both Breath of the Wild and Skyward Sword, I was being put to sleep because I was like, these are boring. These dungeons are boring. The game is boring. I'm so sorry. Tears of the Kingdom was at least a lot more exciting. It felt more like a Zelda game rather than like a Zelda skin that was ripped off of a classic game and then stretched over an open world body, which is what Breath of the Wild felt like. With Tears of the Kingdom, it felt a little more like those two things were combining better. You know, like it had a little bit more balance between old and new, but it still felt too much like an open world game to me still. Like any old open world game. So to me, I'm like, the thing about Zelda, especially when it first came out, I think, was that it was fairly unique. And obviously other games have iterated on it continuously, and now it feels not as new, so I think they're trying to branch out with that, and that's why they're choosing open world for some reason. But like, open world feels so old now and like repetitive that when you put it in a Zelda game, it doesn't feel like a Zelda game anymore. It's just an open world game that looks like a Zelda game that has Zelda characters in it, and it's like, this isn't really a Zelda game. It's like Hyrule Warriors, Hyrule Heroes. What is the game called? Hyrule Warriors, is that it? And they had one for like Breath of the Wild, and like same thing, like that it was fun, but it didn't feel like a Zelda game. It felt like a Soul Calibur style kind of a game, weirdly enough, but like with Zelda characters. Like it didn't feel like a Zelda game even though it was. So I don't know, it's weird. Like there's certain things that I wish they would bring back, and like I don't really mind if they use the open world system, but they should make it their own. And it feels a little bit more like they're just taking the base of an open world system and shoving Zelda stuff inside of it and being like, done, we did it, we made an open world Zelda game. But for me, I'm like, no, you made an open world game with Zelda things in it. That's what it feels like. It doesn't feel like the two are meshing together seamlessly and well, and like you made a completely different type of open world game because it has the Zelda flair in there. So that's still my issue with Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. But Tears of the Kingdom, I think I put it up here. I might actually put it on B, because again, it's one of those games where like I might go back to it someday, but maybe not. Like I don't know. I don't know if I'll ever replay that one. I feel like it has high replayability because there's so much to do, but also because there's so much to do with my little ADHD brain. I feel like I've already played through most of it. What new is there? Like there's nothing there that is really interesting me anymore. I played through it for the story, and I can do that again, but the rest of it just feels like a chore. And that's the other reason why I don't like Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom as much as any of these other games, is because the space in between the story bits feels like a chore. It doesn't feel like a game. It feels like, okay, I have to get through this stuff. I have to slog through all this crappy stuff just to get through to the plot. Because I'm very heavy on plot. I love plot. And I think that's why having a linear plot rather than a plot that's spread out everywhere works better for a Zelda game than not, because like, even though I like the plot, like the story that's happening in both games, I don't like the way that it's introduced to us. I don't like the way that we experience it. And like, I have a lot that I could say. I could talk for literal hours on both of those games. I'm gonna end that part here. But like, I still like the games. They're still good games. Okay, all of these games are good. All of them. Every single one of them. Even these ones that I haven't played. I know they're good. This is just my feelings on them. These are my preferences when it comes to Zelda games. If you have different preferences, you are not wrong. Your preferences are completely and totally valid. Same thing with Space Boys over there at the beginning of the video. Your preferences are your own. They're completely valid. They're true to you. I might not share them, but that doesn't mean that you are wrong for feeling how you feel or thinking how you think or whatever, right? Everyone's got different opinions and preferences and tiers for these things. And then you have Echoes of Wisdom. Echoes of Wisdom I would put in B territory also, next to Tears of the Kingdom, which is invisible. These are going to be 2 invisible games. Just imagine that they're there, okay? So, Echoes of Wisdom goes here for me. And, like, again, I could talk for hours on what issues I had with this game. So many people loved it, and I was just like, really? That is surprising to me that everyone seems to love this game, because I'm not loving it. It's not fucking McDonald's. I'm not loving it. It's fine. It's an okay game. I don't mind the ability that you use, but I wish that it was like a secondary ability. Like, when I heard they were making a game with Zelda in it, I was so totally hoping that Zelda would be a badass. Like, I was hoping that Link maybe was on his journey to start becoming a hero, but he wasn't strong enough yet. And Ganon, who maybe was smarter this time around, knew that. And then he, like, tried to get rid of the hero before the hero could even start, right? Ouch. I just hit my knee, sorry. But Zelda somehow, maybe she and Link are friends, whatever, I don't know, but Zelda somehow, like, gets word of all of this stuff happening, and she goes like, oh my gosh, someone has to do it, I have to go and save him. Like, if he's the hero, then I have to go and save the hero, because this isn't right. Like, the prophecy says blah, 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 blah. But, like, this isn't right, because it's supposed to be him, right? Like, maybe he's always known that he's supposed to be the hero, but then he gets taken out before he can actually act on that. And so it falls to Zelda, and she picks up his fucking sword and his shield, and she goes out there, and she has the adventure that he was supposed to be having, but because she's also wise, she's got the wisdom one, it functions differently, right? And that's where maybe, like, the wand thing comes in a little bit, and you can summon things, but it's not the main thing. So, like, yeah, maybe she does have to use her brains a little bit more because she's got a little bit less brawn, but I was hoping that she would still have more brawn than she did in the actual Echoes of Wisdom game. I was really hoping that the wand would be, like, a secondary thing. So she would be, like, half fight, half wisdom. You know what I mean? And that there would be, like, really awesome puzzles. Like, the puzzles were fine. I thought the puzzles were fine. If you've seen my playthrough of it, I go full into this about what disappointed me about the game, but, like, it was a game that it was enjoyable, but again, there were moments of it that just felt like a chore, that felt like I was slogging through it, and I'm like, is this going to be how it feels with Zelda games now? Because I don't feel that way, even when I go back and play these older games, because I went thinking, like, maybe it's me, maybe I'm getting too old for Zelda games, maybe every single Zelda game is gonna feel like a chore. It doesn't. That's not how that works for me in my brain. Like, I recently replayed through Oracle of Ages just in my free time, and, like, I haven't beaten it yet, but, like, there's nothing in that game that feels like a chore. It just feels like an adventure, you know? It feels like we're going on an adventure. It's so fucking cool. This one feels like an adventure. This one feels like an adventure. This one feels like a fucking adventure. All of these feel like a big adventure. These ones all feel like an adventure. This one feels like an adventure, but a bit like I'm lost. Do you know what I mean? This one doesn't really feel like an adventure. It feels like a vacation. These do not feel like an adventure. These two here don't really feel like an adventure. Do you know what I mean? Like, these two invisible ones that I've mentioned, Tears of the Kingdom and Echoes of Wisdom, they don't feel like an adventure to me. I don't know about these ones because I've never played them. But, like, that's how I feel about them, is, like, the S and the A tier feel like adventures. To me, these games are where all of the Zelda magic, like, truly lies. It's all right there. This one was, like, the blueprint for everything, but it wasn't perfected yet, so it still has its flaws. I don't think it's amazing, but I think I really appreciate it for what it is. This one kind of, I don't know, like, it feels like a bite just a little tiny bite of adventure, but it's not like a full adventure to me. That's just how it feels. Again, you are entitled to your opinion, I am entitled to mine. This is just how I feel. If you really love this game, fuck yeah. Love that game. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with these. If you really love these games, hell yeah, dude. You do you. Play those games. Love those games. Give them appreciation. I'm not saying that these games, none of these games are worthy of appreciation or of hate. These ones are worthy of hate too. There's a lot of flaws in these games. I'm not saying they're perfect. You know, I'm just saying these are the ones I prefer to play. These are the ones that I continuously go back to over and over again, year after year. And these ones I'm curious about, but I've never played. Especially if it's like forced multiplayer. I'm not down for multiplayer games. I like solo games. But like, Echoes of Wisdom it didn't feel like an adventure. I was disappointed that they made Zelda into like a piddly little weak lady that had to use her wits to get by. And like, I understand making her like wise, that's fine, but like I so craved a Zelda that could legitimately fight. You know what I mean? And like not call upon the powers of the hero to learn how to fight and have him possess her for like 15 seconds so she could swing around a little spirit sword. Like I wanted her to actually fight. I wanted her to be like, you could even use the wand to just bonk people on the heads. Like I wish so bad that she could just wham! Like I wanted that Zelda so fucking bad. And so I was really disappointed when I was like, she can't even try to fight. She can't even try. She just sends people out to do her work for her. Like, fuck that shit. Let her get her hands dirty. Let her become a warrior. Oh my god, that would be so cool. Ugh. So anyways, yes, as someone who played Echoes of Wisdom, like it was fine, it was enjoyable. It was also a major letdown for me personally, because I went into it expecting it to be what it was, and I was still disappointed. Because I hoped it would be more than what I expected. I expected it to be exactly what it was, and that's exactly what it was. But I hoped so much. I was hoping and praying and wishing. I was like, please, God of Zelda games, Miyamoto, right? I don't know. Please, just like, make it surprising. Let it surprise us. Come on. And then we played it. I played it, and there were no surprises, and I was like, God damn it. I was hoping for surprise. I was hoping that you guys would like have something in your back pocket that you weren't letting anyone see, and then you would show it in the game, and it would blow our fucking minds. And they didn't do that. It was just exactly what I thought it would be, and I was like, God fucking damn it, that sucks. So I was very disappointed with Echoes of Wisdom. Again, good game. I personally am a little more critical of Zelda games, especially after Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. I'm very critical of whatever else they're going to be putting out now, because I am a diehard, like, old school Zelda fan. Obviously, I like most of the games. Out of most of these games, there's only like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 that I didn't really enjoy as much, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 that I do enjoy, and 4 that I've never played, but I'm sure I would enjoy them. Like, I don't know. I would say that, like, yeah, for the most part, Zelda is one of my favorite series. Again, it's not a perfect series. There's hits, there's misses, there's even games in here like fucking Link's Crossbow Training also that isn't in here that I've never played. That would go into never play because I've never played it. But like, stuff like that. There's like Tingle games that you can find somehow, some that are like only released in Japan, where Tingle's the main character and it's really weird. Like, I've never played those ones either, but like, I'm sure all of them would be enjoyable in some capacity. But these are my favorites. These are definitely my favorites. And among these, I wonder, which of these ones is my absolute favorites? I really love Minish Cap. Like, oh my god. Minish Cap, I can play... Minish Cap is so nostalgic. A Link Between Worlds, I really, really, really love. A Link to the Past, maybe. Link's Awakening, probably, yeah. Maybe like that. And then this one makes sense as it is. And then... excuse me. So yeah, within their own tiers Minish Cap might actually be my favorite game, my favorite Zelda game of all of them. Which is so funny because I didn't play it when it first came out. I played it like years later because I didn't, like, no one was talking about it at all, so I didn't think it was going to be a good Zelda game, so I went into it not really expecting it to be a good Zelda game. But like, they were switching from the Wii U to the Switch, I think, and so they were like, buy the Zelda games while they're on sale, and so I bought a fuck ton of Zelda games on my Wii U. And Minish Cap was one of them because I'm like, I was like, I never played that one, let's play it. And I fell in love with it so freaking hard, like, it's so nostalgic. I also have that gameplay on this channel if you want to watch it. I have Minish Cap on here, and like, you can hear me talk about how it's nostalgic, like the fucking oracles are in it. There's sounds from like the Happy Mask Salesman who is in Majora's Mask and Ocarina, but like mostly Majora's Mask. Like, there's certain sound effects that are in older Zelda games that they put in here, and I'm just like, oh my god, I love it so much. This mechanic in A Link Between Worlds, where you can, like, I wish I could play this on my channel, but like, unless they have A Link Between Worlds emulatable on the Switch, I probably won't be able to play it on my channel because it's for the DS, for my 2DS. I hope to play A Link to the Past at some point on my channel because that'd be awesome. I have the remake of Link's Awakening on my channel, but I could go and play through the OG Link's Awakening too if you guys really want. I don't know if I'll ever do Majora's Mask, and the reason why is because it's so stressful. It's like, because it's the time crunch thing, and like, eventually I get the hang of it, and I still replay through it, like, all the time I play it, but like, to be watched while I'm also on a time crunch doing all of these things, oh my god, that would be so fucking stressful. I think I have to be in the exact right state of mind in order to play Majora's Mask on this channel, but Majora's Mask is like one of my favorite Zelda games for sure. I really want to get Majora's Mask on my shoulder, like as a tattoo. Like the actual mask, I want it on my shoulder. It's also my desktop. Hang on. It's my desktop. Like, I love it so much. It's because it's great. I love it. So, anyways, yeah, Wind Waker's awesome. I love Wind Waker. I might play that one next on my channel. And then obviously I have an Ocarina of Time playthrough also. Like, I want to play through all of these, and I just finished this one. Although when this video comes out, it will be months later, but I literally just finished playing this one. So, like, Twilight Princess, because I love that one. I don't know if I'll play the Oracle games on here, but if I do ever get to all of these games, these will probably be the only Zelda games that I play on my channel. I don't have any intention of playing any of these ones on my channel, and that includes Tears of the Kingdom. I've already played Echoes of Wisdom on the channel, so that's on there too, but like, these ones I have no intention of playing on the channel. This one I might. Spirit Tracks, I might, because again, I haven't played that one. So playing it for the first time on the channel might be kind of interesting and nice. I don't know. Especially since it's an older game. But these other ones, I'm pretty sure these are all multiplayer ones, right? They include like the 4 Swords or the Triforce Heroes one, 3 players. I don't know. I'm not sure about these ones, but I don't have them. Anyways, this video has gone on for way too long. Thank you for joining me. Thank you especially if you watched the first portion and watched me geek out over fictional dudes. Pixelman. Pixelman. It's like Pac-Man, but it's Pixelman. Anyways. And if you skipped that just to get to the Zelda tier list because you were curious about it, thank you for sticking with it. Let me know what your favorite guys or favorite games, Zelda games, are in the comments. Cause yeah, that's it. That's it. I'm gonna go now. Bye.